Hello everyone, it's Seiji, and today I will be talking about the young adult books within Black literature that are coming out this year, and also the ones that have already come out. Is this list exhaustive? No, but I tried my best to find as many as I could. So yeah, I'm really excited to show them to you, so let's just jump into it. A Love-Hate Thing is a romance story written by Whitney D. Grandison. It's about a boy named Tyson and a girl named Nandi. Nandi, with her parents, lives in the wealthy coastal community of Pacific Hills. After being shot and surviving the rough streets of Lindenwood, Tyson really doesn't care about anything, much less how the rest of his life is going to unfold. Nandi herself has spent most of her life trying to build a pristine reputation within the community. And so when her parents decide to take in a troubled teen, namely Tyson, she's afraid that her reputation will just go up in flames. Now that Tyson is living under the same roof as Nandi, the tension is incredibly high. However, the line between love and hate is just as thin as the wall between their bedrooms. A Love-Hate Thing is out now. All the Days Past, All the Days to Come is a historical fiction written by Mildred D. Taylor. It's the 8th and also the last book in the Logan family saga. It follows Casey Logan, who is now a young woman trying to find her way in the world. Her journey takes her from Toledo to California, to law school in Boston, and ultimately in the 60s back home to Mississippi to participate in voter registration. She is a witness to now historic events: the Great Migration North, the rise of the Civil Rights Movement, and the often violent confrontations that brought about change. All Days Past, All Days to Come is out now. Not So Pure and Simple is a contemporary novel written by Lamar Giles. The book highlights the consequences of societal pressure, confronts toxic masculinity, and explores the complexity of what it means to be a, quote, real man. Dell has had a crush on Kiara since kindergarten, and now during their junior year she's finally available. So when Kiara volunteers for an opportunity at their church, Dell is right behind her. Though he quickly realizes that he has inadvertently signed up for a purity pledge. His dad thinks that his wires are crossed, and his best friend Quan doesn't believe that any girl is worth that long of a wait. But Dell's not ready to lose the girl of his dreams. But as he plots and plans, he neglects the most important question: what does Kiara want? He can't think about that too much though, because once he's got the girl, everything will sort itself out. Right? Not So Pure and Simple is out now. Deathless Divided is the second book in the historical fiction / zombie horror series written by Justina Ireland. After the fall of Summerland, Jane McKean had hoped that her life would be simpler. Get out of town, stay alive, and head west to California to find her mother. But nothing is easy when you're a girl trained in putting down the dead. And a devastating loss on the road to a protected village has Jane questioning everything she thought she knew about surviving in 1880s America. What's more is that this village doesn't seem to be the safe haven it appeared to be. Jane discovers this fact when she sees familiar faces from Summerland in the new society. Jane has a lot to deal with, but luckily she isn't alone. Catherine is there as well, watching Jane's back. But it seems that that was more than she had bargained for, and when they both reach a breaking point, it's up to Catherine to keep the hope alive. Deathless Divide is out now. Some Other Now is a contemporary novel written by Sarah Everett. It follows a girl who is caught between two brothers. The book alternates between the summer that she falls in love and the summer that her ex-boyfriend returns from college and asks her to pretend to still be his girlfriend for the final moments of his mother's life. Some Other Now comes out on the 23rd of February. The Sound of Stars is a science fiction novel written by Alicia Dow. 2 years ago, a misunderstanding between the leaders of Earth and the invading Ilori resulted in the death of 1/3 of Earth's population. We follow a 17-year-old girl named Ellie who lives in an Ilori-controlled center in New York City. All art, books, and music is currently illegal on Earth, but Ellie breaks the rules by keeping a secret library. Punishment, however, for this crime is incredibly harsh, namely execution. So when a book goes missing, Ellie is terrified that the Ilori will find her and then kill her. Morris, who is part of the Ilori, finds her library. He is duty-bound to deliver her for execution, but Morris finds himself drawn to human music and is in desperate need of more. So the two of them embark on a dangerous and wild trip. With a bag of books and their favorite albums, they make a story and a song that might just save them both. The Sound of Stars comes out on the 25th of February. And the Stars Were Burning Brightly is a contemporary novel written by Danielle Yawando. It's a story about suicide, mental health, bullying, grief, and growing up around social media. When 15-year-old Nathan finds out that his older brother Al has taken his own life, his whole world is torn apart. Al was special. Al was talented. Al was full of passion and light. So why did he do it? Convinced that his brother was in trouble, he tries to retrace his footsteps. And along the way, he meets Megan, Al's former classmate, who burns with the same fire and hope, who is determined to keep Al's memory alive. But when he learns about the horrifying truth about his brother's suicide, one question remains. How do you survive when you're growing up in the age of social media? And The Stars Were Burning Brightly comes out on the 5th of March. When You Were Everything is a contemporary novel written by Ashley Woodfolk. It's been 27 days since Cleo and Layla's friendship imploded. Nearly a month since Cleo realized that they will never be besties again. Now Cleo wants to erase every single memory, good and bad, that tethers her to her ex-best friend. But pretending that Layla doesn't exist isn't as easy as Cleo had hoped, especially after she's been assigned to be Layla's tutor. Despite budding new friendships with other classmates, Cleo's turbulent past with Layla comes back to haunt them both. Alternating between timelines of then and now, When You Were Everything is said to blend past and present into an emotional story about the beauty of self-forgiveness, the promise of new beginnings, and the courage it takes to remain open to love. When You Were Everything comes out on the 10th of March. Raybearer is a fantasy story written by Jordan Ifueko. Nothing is more important than loyalty. But what if you have sworn to protect the one that you were born to destroy? Tarisai has always dreamt of feeling the warmth of a family. She was raised in isolation by a mysterious and often absent mother who is only known as the Lady. The Lady sends her to the capital of the global empire of ARTISAN to compete with other children, to be chosen as one of the Crown Prince's Council of 11. If she's picked, she will be joined with the other council members through the Ray, a bond stronger than blood. That closeness is irresistible to Tarisai, who has always wanted to belong somewhere. But the Lady has other ideas, including a magical wish that Tarisai is compelled to obey. Kill the Crown Prince once she's gained his trust. Tarisai won't just stand by and be a pawn, but is she strong enough to choose another path for herself? Raybearer comes out on the 4th of April. Storm and Fury is a fantasy novel written by Dana L. Davis. It's set in a world of gargoyle protectors, rising demons, and one girl with an explosive secret. 18-year-old Trinity Marrow may be going blind, but she can see and communicate with ghosts and spirits. Her gift is part of a secret so dangerous that she's been hiding for years in an isolated compound guarded by wardens. These are gargoyle shapeshifters who keep humans safe from demons. If the demons discover the truth about Trinity, they'll devour her and enhance their powers. When wardens from another clan arrive with the disturbing news that something has been killing both demons and gargoyles, Trinity's world implodes. To save her family and possibly the entire world, she will have to put her trust into a person named Zane. But all bets are off as a supernatural war is unleashed. Storm and Fury is coming out on the 4th of May. The Hero of Nonbani is a science fiction novel written by Nikki Drayden. In the technologically advanced African city of Nonbani, in the not-so-near future, both humans and humanoid robots live together in harmony. But when a terrorist tries to shatter that unity, a hero by the name of Evie rises. Evie has been making robots since she was little, machines to better her community and improve people's lives. But when she witnesses the catastrophic attack by Doomfist, she feels the call to build something greater, a true guardian of Nonbani. However, Evie still has a lot to do, both in the robot building department as well as the hero being department. The Hero of Nonbony comes out on the 5th of May. Clap When You Land is a contemporary novel written by Elizabeth Acevedo. In this novel in verse, Acevedo writes about the devastation of loss, the difficulty of forgiveness, and the bittersweet bonds that shape our lives. Camino lives for the summers when her father comes to visit her in the Dominican Republic. But this time, on the day when his plane is supposed to land, Camino arrives at the airport to meet a crowd of crying people. In New York City, Yahaira is called to the principal's office. There, her mother is waiting for her to tell her that her father, her hero, has died in a plane crash. Separated by distance and Papi's secrets, the two girls are forced to face a new reality in which their father is dead and their lives are forever altered. And then, when it seems that they have lost everything from their father, they learn of each other. Clap When You Land comes out on the 14th of May. A Song of Raids and Ruin is a fantasy story inspired by both North and West African folklore and is written by Roseanne A. Brown. For 17-year-old Malik, the weekend-long festival of Solstasia is a chance to escape his poverty-stricken life for a new one in the prosperous desert city of Ziran. But just as he reaches the city's gate, a vengeful spirit kidnaps his younger sister and offers him a deal, her freedom in exchange for the death of the crown princess Karina before the end of Solstasia. With nothing but his own wits and dark magic, Malik barely understands. Malik disguises himself as a nobleman and enters Solstasia to compete for the hand of Karina in marriage. It's the perfect opportunity to assassinate her, but the night before Solstasia begins, Karina's mother is killed by an assassin, and so she inherits a court that threatens mutiny. Grief-stricken and distrustful of everyone around her, Karina resorts to using forbidden magic to bring her mother back from the dead. But resurrection comes at a steep price, and this ritual requires sacrificing her future husband, that is, the winner of Solstasia. Over a week of heart-pounding celebrations and dazzling displays of magic, an unlikely bond begins to form between Malik and Karina, and their interactions force them to question everything they thought they knew about the world. But though they're more alike than their enemies would have them believe, both are willing to do whatever it takes to save the ones they love, even if they have to destroy each other. A Song of Raids and Ruin comes out on the 2nd of June. Now That I Found You is a rom-com story written by Christina Forrest. 18-year-old Evie is poised to be Hollywood's next big movie star, following in the footsteps of her uber-famous grandmother, Evelyn Conaway. That is, until a friend's betrayal ultimately leads to Evie getting fired and blacklisted. A public appearance with Evelyn Conaway, also known as GG, is just the thing that could save Evie's career. But the week Evie plans to present GG with a major award in front of Hollywood's elite, GG, a recluse who has been out of the spotlights for over 20 years, disappears. With time running out, Evie reluctantly enlists the help of the person who last saw GG before her disappearance. Milo Williams, a cute musician who Evie isn't sure she can trust. As Evie and Milo spend a wild week in New York City searching for Gigi, adventure and romance abound, and Evie makes some new discoveries about Gigi, but most importantly about herself. Now That I Found You comes out on the 2nd of June. You Should See Me in a Crown is a contemporary novel written by Leah Johnson. Lizzie has always believed that she was too black, too poor, too awkward to shine in her small prom-obsessed Midwestern town. But it's okay, Liz has a plan that will get her out of Campbell, Indiana forever. Attend the uber-elite Pennington College, play in their world-famous orchestra, and become a doctor. But when the financial aid that Liz was counting on falls through, all her plans come crashing down, until she's reminded of her school scholarship for prom king and queen. Despite her devastating fear of the spotlight, she will do whatever it takes to get to Pennington College. The only thing that makes it halfway bearable is the new girl in school, Mac. She's smart, funny, and just as much an outsider as Liz. But Mac is also running as queen. Will falling for her competition keep Liz from her dreams, or make them come true? You Should See Me in a Crown comes out on the 2nd of June. All the Things We Never Knew is a contemporary novel written by Liera Tamani. The book follows two black teenagers as they discover how first love, heartbreak, betrayal, and family shapes you, for better or for worse. Carly and Rex are rising stars on their Texas high schools' respective basketball teams. They're both destined for bright futures in college and beyond. From the moment they first locked eyes, they knew it was destiny. But can you truly love someone if you don't love yourself? Carly and Rex have secrets. So do their families. This novel is said to be filled with pain, joy, and healing. All the Things We Never Knew comes out on the 9th of June. This Is My America is a contemporary novel written by Kim Johnson. It's a book that explores the racial injustices in the American justice system. Every week, 17-year-old Tracy writes letters to Innocent's ex, asking them to help her father, an innocent black man on death row. After 7 years, Tracy is running out of time. Her dad's got only 267 days left. Then the unthinkable happens. The police arrive at night and Tracy's older brother Jamal goes from a bright, promising track star to a thug on the run, accused of killing a white girl. Determined to save her brother, Tracy investigates what really happened between her brother and Angela down at the Pike. But will Tracy and her family survive the uncovering of skeletons of their Texas town racist history that still haunts the present? This Is My America comes out on the 1st of July. Cinderella is Dead is a fantasy novel written by Carlin Bayron. It's 200 years after Cinderella found her prince, but the fairy tale is over. Teen girls are required to attend the annual ball, where men of the kingdom select wives on the basis of their skills in finery. If a suitable match is not found, the girls who are not chosen are never to be heard of again. 16-year-old Sophia would rather marry Erin, her childhood best friend, than parade in front of suitors. At the ball, Sophia makes a desperate decision to flee and finds herself in the mausoleum of Cinderella. There she meets Constance, the last descendant of Cinderella and her stepsisters. Together they vow to bring down the king once and for all, and in the process they learn that there is more to Cinderella's story than they ever knew. Cinderella is Dead comes out on the 7th of July. The Voting Booth is a contemporary novel written by Brandy Colbert. Marva was born ready for this day. She's always been driven to make a difference in the world. And what better way to do that than vote in her first election? Duke, however, is done with this election. He just wants to get voting over with so that he can focus on preparing for his band's first paid gig. The only problem? Duke can't vote. When Marva sees Duke being turned away from their polling station, she takes it upon herself to make sure that his vote is counted. And that's how their whirlwind day begins. Rushing from precinct to precinct, cutting school, waiting in endless lines, getting turned away time and again, trying to do one simple thing: vote. And throughout the day it becomes clear that there is more to their connection than just a shared mission for democracy. The Voting Booth comes out on the 7th of July. The Year of the Witching is a dark fantasy novel written by Alexis Henderson. In the land of Bethel, where the prophet's word is law, Emanuela's very existence is blasphemy. Her mother's union with an outsider from a different race cast her once proud family into disgrace. So Emanuela does her best to worship the Father, follow holy protocol, and live a life of submission, devotion, and absolute conformity, just like all the other women in the settlement. But a mishap lures her into the forbidden dark woods surrounding Bethel, where the first prophet once chased and killed 4 witches. Their spirits are still lurking there, and they bestow upon Emanuela a gift: the journal of her dead mother, who Emanuela is shocked to find out once sought sanctuary in the woods. When she starts to learn the grim truths of the church and its history, she realizes that the true threat in Bethel is its own darkness, and she starts to understand that if Bethel is to change, it has to start with her. The Year of the Witching comes out on the 21st of July. Chasing the Sun is a contemporary novel written by Janice Lynn Mather. This is a Caribbean set story about 4 friends who experience unexpected changes in their lives during the summer when a hotel developer purchases the community's beloved beach. Change is coming to Pinder Street. Eve is the rock in her family of 7, the only one they always depend on. But when her father is diagnosed with cancer, the only thing she wants to do is forget about her worries, put on some lipstick and go out. Faith is the dancer all the boys want, but she only has eyes for the one she can't have. Kiki is the poet who doesn't follow the rules, not even to please her estranged father. But after a horrible betrayal, she has to choose between being right and losing everyone she loves. Nia is the prisoner longing to escape her overprotective mother. A summer art program might be her ticket to freedom, yet it comes at a terrible price. And the risk may not be worth the reward. Ready or not, it's time for these 4 friends to face the sun. Facing the Sun comes out on the 4th of August. Grown is a murder mystery story written by Tiffany D. Jackson. Corey Fields is dead. When Enchanted wakes up with blood on her hands and zero memory of the previous night, no one, including the police and Corey's fans, has more questions than she has. All she knows is that this is not how things are supposed to be. Corey was Enchantment's ticket to stardom. Before there was a dead body, Enchanted was an inspiring singer who was struggling with her tight-knit family's move to the suburbs, while finding her way as the lone black girl in her high school. But then the legendary R&B artist Corey spots her at an audition, and so her dream of becoming a professional singer takes flight. Enchanted is dazzled by Corey's luxurious life, but that dream quickly turns into a nightmare. Behind Corey's charm and star power hides a dark side, one that wants to control her every move with rage and consequences. But now he's dead and the police is at the door. Who killed Corey? All signs point to Enchanted. Grown is set to come out on the 15th of September. Dear Justice is a novel by Nick Stone. This book draws from the experiences of Justice McAllister, the protagonist of Dear Martin. Dear Justice is set to come out on the 6th of October. Jake in the Box is a horror novel written by Ryan Douglas. It's hard being the only black kid at a conservative prep school, especially when you're routinely harassed by the dead. In his junior year of high school, Jake plans on making real friends, which won't happen if he keeps retreating to a world no one else can see. But when he meets Sawyer, he discovers a spirit too vengeful to ignore. 6 years ago, Sawyer carried out a school shooting and killed himself before he could finish the job. His targets are still out there, and he plans to possess Jake in order to finish what he started. The more he tries to ignore Sawyer, the more he feels the impact he's making on his psyche. And the more he discovers who Sawyer was, the more he realizes how similar he truly is to Sawyer. A boy once bullied relentlessly for his sexuality, now hell-bent on taking power of a world that took it from him. To protect himself from possession, Jake will have to find a voice in a school he feels he has none, and discover his own reasons to live. Jake in the Box is set to come out in the fall of 2020. Lux the New Girl is a contemporary novel written by Ashley Woodfolk. It's part of a 4-book series called The Beauty That Remains. It follows a group of girls in Harlem as they navigate family, friends, and questions about the future. Lux the New Girl and Book 2 are set to come out in the fall of 2020. Roman and Jewel is a novel written by Dana L. Davis. The story follows Jersey, a teenager with Broadway ambitions, unbeatable pipes, and a kind soul. She leaves Hoboken behind for New York City when she lands the understudy role in a diverse reimagining of Romeo and Juliet, which stars Jersey's biggest idol, R&B sensation Cindy. When Jersey learns that she was actually meant to be the lead, she's heartbroken. But nothing can stop her from seeing Roman and Jewel as the priceless opportunity it could still be. Jersey quickly realizes that not everything is as it seems, and for every success there is another complication when Cinny becomes Jersey's nemesis, and the mysterious and aloof lead, Zeppelin, becomes Jersey's own star-crossed lover. As the Broadway world around Jersey tells her that friendship is impossible, nobody is who they seem, and even your best qualities can be used against you, Jersey must fight to remember who she is. Roman and Jewel is set to come out this year. The Black Kids is a coming-of-age story written by Christina Hammonds. It's about a wealthy black teenager whose family gets caught in the vortex of the Rodney King riots. The Black Kids is set to come out this year. Then Brittany Morris, the author of Slay, has another novel coming out this year. Then last but not least, we have a couple of sequels coming out later in this year. The third book in L.L. McKinney's fantasy series called The Nightmareverse. The book is called A Crown So Cursed. The untitled sequel to The Good Luck Girls by Charlotte Nicole Davis. The untitled sequel to the fantasy novel Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron. This one will be coming out on the 7th of September. And then finally the third and last book in the fantasy trilogy Legacy of Orisha by Tomi Adeyemi. Those were all of the books that I could find. If you know about any others, please do feel free to mention them in the comments section down below. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.